By now, you probably know that being a podcast guest is one of the fastest and most effective ways to build your authority, be viewed as an expert in your industry, and grow your business. But it's not enough to just do the interviews. You've got to be a fabulous guest. You've got to make a strong impression on your buyers. And what's more, build a relationship with the host who's likely to be an influencer in your industry and with your target audience. So, if you're ready to learn the 5 under the radar secrets to being a great podcast guest, keep watching this video so you can absolutely crush your next interview. I'm Kasey Jones, and I'm a growth coach to entrepreneurs of all kinds, empowering them to harness the power of what makes them different, to build their authority as experts in their industry and create high growth businesses with impact. So if you're ready to supercharge your status as an expert and a thought leader so that you can build an amazing business that has a real impact on your community, your industry, your life, then click to subscribe so that you can be notified every single week when I share a new video. And if you'd like to learn how to land these interviews and leverage them to be a real authority and an influencer in your industry, click the link in the description of the video and get access to my 100% free training so that you can get started becoming that expert authority and growing your business. Now, let's dive into the 5 secrets to being a great podcast guest. 1. Know whom you're talking to. This seems obvious, but I can't tell you how many people, and I've even done this myself, especially early on in this process. Like, you show up to an interview, your VA helped you book it, you're super busy, and you show up and you don't even really know who you're talking to. And that's awkward. Okay, so just take a few minutes, do some research on your host. What is their business? What are they working on right now? Like, what are they all about? The other thing that's super helpful about that is you're going to have a way better strategy of kind of what you want to talk about, because you're going to have a better sense of kind of what this person is all about, what questions they're likely to ask you. So take a few minutes to research. It does not take a lot of time. Review what they've already sent over. So oftentimes they'll send you the questions in advance. It is in your best interest to look at those, because sometimes they've got not gotcha questions, and they're never going to ask you that, but they'll have like really specific ones. And if you can spend a little bit of time thinking about your answer, it can really help you not stumble over your words and make like a just major impact. The other thing you can also do is listen to some past guests and see what some of those questions are. Okay, number 2, know what you want to get out of the interview. Okay, this is another thing so many people just skip over. This is something we spend a ton of time with clients, because it's so important to have clearly defined goals and know what talking points you really want to hit. Okay, and then also know what offer you want to present to your audience. Oftentimes hosts will let you make an offer, let you kind of promote something that you're doing. So you want to think that through beforehand so that you're delivering kind of the right thing and mentioning the right step in your value ladder. So doing some thinking about the kind of impression you want to make on the audience, the stories that you could tell that would help explain what you do or the power of it, like how you do it, why you do it. All of that can really help you make a splash during the interview and leave a very memorable and positive impression on your ideal buyers that are hopefully listening. Keep in mind the prep, this part of the prep gets easier with every interview, because you're only going to change a few things or kind of adjust the nuance for the audience. So it's really worth spending some time thinking through the stories that explain your value and teach your audience in a way that's going to kind of help you connect with them. So number 3, sorry, not 2, 3, you need a solid setup. Okay, and by that, I mean you need to look and sound professional. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to spend a ton of money on equipment. But you do want to make sure that you're coming through clearly, both visually and orally. So a couple of things that you want to kind of keep in mind. Make sure you're in a quiet place. Okay. Also, the ideal is a place that doesn't have crazy high ceilings because that adds to the reverb. And I can also say, I have a dog. So when it's an important interview, I put her upstairs in my bedroom because otherwise she's going to bark at the mailman or whatever while I'm on a call on an interview and it doesn't sound great. So if you can also invest in a decent microphone. Now, you don't need to, and I'm going to explain in a minute how you can kind of get around that. But if you're going to do a lot of these interviews, make an investment. I highly recommend the Blue Snowball. Yes, that actually is a microphone. On Amazon, I haven't checked it on in a minute, but it's about 50 or 60 bucks on Amazon and it's solid. I know a bunch of professional podcasters that's the one that they use. So think about investing in something that will make you sound really amazing, especially if you're going to do a bunch of these. Also, you might want to plug a set of headphones into your computer or your mic. And this is what I'm saying. Even if you don't have a professional mic, if you plug your headphones in, it helps eliminate the background noise and it helps eliminate feedback. So that can really go a long way as well. And finally, you want to make sure you've got some solid lighting if you're recording video too. You don't need to make a bunch of investments, but make sure you've got lights turned on. Make sure you don't have bright light right behind you, right? Because then you're just going to look like a silhouette. So think through those things. A little goes a really long way here. So what is your favorite trick to being a podcast guest and really nailing it? Share in the comments below some of the strategies you've employed to absolutely crush your interviews. And if you are a podcast host, what are the qualities or the strategies that you appreciate most in your guest? Share in the comments and let's all learn from one another. Now, number 4, be present. Okay, it is far too easy, especially when we're nervous, to always be thinking about what we're going to say next and not pay attention to the person that we're talking about. Don't do that. It's obvious when you don't really listen to what they're saying and you're just waiting for your turn to talk. So be present, connect, listen, and engage. You'll create a much more fluid and organic connection with the host, and the conversation is going to feel much more genuine. And that's really going to show through on the interview. So the people that are listening are going to make more of a connection with you when you're making more of a connection with the host. Okay, number 5, and I can't believe I need to say this, but this is huge. Promote your interview. This is so important and so many people skip over it. I was so bad at this for so long and I missed out on huge opportunities. When your interview goes live, make sure you're promoting it with your audience. On social, through email, maybe even write a blog post. Everywhere that you can make people aware of your interview, you should. And if you're putting it on social, tag the host, tag the show. They're going to see that. And not only is that going to help you build your credibility and brand awareness by showing your network that you're an expert in your industry and you're kind of a big deal, but the host will also really, really appreciate your support. Okay. And if you know me, I always love giving a bonus tip. So here is number 6 for you. Thank the host. Show your appreciation for the opportunity and build that relationship. A couple things you can do. You can send them a quick note just to say thank you. You can recommend other colleagues or professionals in your industry whom they could also interview. You can think through ways to pass them business, ways to support other things they're doing, but you want to stay in touch with them. That's how you're going to build a really meaningful relationship. And these are people that have a lot of influence, they have a lot of connections, and they can help you, but you've got to give first. So build that relationship so you can turn that host into a partner, an ally, and a friend. Okay, so now you know how you can show up to these interviews and make an absolutely amazing impression on the host and the listeners. If you're looking for how you can land those interviews and use them to build your authority and grow your business, click the link in the description and join my absolutely free training that's going to show you exactly how to do it. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the button to subscribe, hit the bell to get notified every time I drop a new video. Like the video, and please share in the comments what part of this was most helpful. Ask me any questions, and I will do everything I can to help and support you.